now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Go now. 90 Wolf. Here we go. Check, boys. Leo. No.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey, Charlie. Go.
Operating from the gun. Street. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Street. Got a man. He finds Sanders. That one good for 24 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide. In tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Ready. Send logo. Rock it. Right.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. And he'll give it here to his running back. And do it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to keep it here. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
H3, 218. Chop the pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Tight on, tight on, tight on.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. New Mike 52, ready, go.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Street. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fielded at the 20. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ready up.
Hey, 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 hey. Watch right, watch right. We own them. We own them.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
And he better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
Watch the whip.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Mike 51. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Back to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Page. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a handoff here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Fielded just inside the 30. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
90. Whoa. I got you.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt him later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Ready,
set to begin their next drive. The Rams offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check mark 33. Check mark 33. Ricky. Snap.
From the gun, Street. His throw incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Mike's 50. Hey, tight. Hey, Mike's 50.
2nd and 6. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 14. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 52. Come off the ball, hard. Where's 52? Watch his head.
He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Maxwell. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. This will be taken in at the 1. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On second down now, it's Terry. A limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
56. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Mike's 56. Mike's 54. Crunch time, defense.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
Ready.
They'll set up to throw. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got the first down and more past midfield and down to the 28-yard line. And he's going to get this one all the way down to the Rams' 28. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, good, backside guys.
Man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On third down, Terry. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They're 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll keep it on the ground. Page. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try the left side. It's Page, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Street. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Yo.
Hey, Echo.
Mark check 33.
Throwing again. Street. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to throw. Street. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Two right here. Mike 52. And let's get this. Echo. Mike 52. Get ready. What happened?
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Recon, 132 fight. Shoot.
2nd and 10. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Whoosh, fighting his way through contact. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams.
And the Rams first down.
Let's go now. 10-2 stop.
25.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Street going up, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Set, ready. 70 in.
They're running it. Right here, guys. Fight the
Box trap.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. 51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
Ready.
He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The field position game often so overlooked, but this offense is going to be backed up deep. What an ideal punt.
And now, this stage of the game, when they need the drive to try and put themselves in a position to win it, you talk about going the long field, the very long field. This could be a 99-yard drive if they're able to accomplish it.
And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll keep it on the ground. Page. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Set, ready? 10 Lobo. Go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
On 1st down, it's Page. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Down. 60 outlaw.
Let's put that.
Hey, Delta.
Hey, check back.
Yep.
Check back 33. I got it. Mike, check 33.
throw. And that's complete to Sanders. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
50, play.
They'll run on first down. It's Page. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
25, check 25. Look, squeeze. There you go.
They'll try the left side. Page. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Vikings' 36-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He's back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. Now there's the timeout signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick here is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far.
10-2 stop.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Let him know, let him know. Kill, hey, lock it. Kill, hey, exit.
Right, check 33. 33. Coming to you, coming to you.
And they give this time to the tailback. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2.
Come on, QB, come on. Jump.
And that is incomplete. Decision time now on 4th and about 1.5 yards.
I can still hear my high school coach, John Ford, right now. I want my #1 play with my #1 runner over my #1 blocker. Get me the first down. But some may very well say, punt this thing away, pin them down deep, and play field position.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. So we'll take a break with them and be right back. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Sean McVay's gamble does not pay off, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Let's go. And Lobo. Shoot.
On first down, it's Terry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Chopper. Watch twist.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Flushed out right. And he rifles one incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, Terry, and he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And the kick is good. He got it. And it's official now. They're going to the playoffs. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.